Hi there and welcome to Global Goals. In this video we'll be previewing Group B of this year's World Cup. This group sees 2018 finalists England come up against fellow British side Wales, who not for the first time will be aiming to spring a surprise at a major tournament. After having to watch the last World Cup at home, USA find themselves back in a campaign, as do plucky Asian outfits Iran. Joining me today to take you through this group are our experts Alfie and Josh. Firstly, we'll cross to Josh to take you through the teams one by one. With the first up, we've got USA. Josh, over to you.
Thanks, OS. A lot can change over a few years. Players come, grow and develop, and the US men's national team might be one of the best examples of that. Manager Greg Berhalter has an impressive group of players, combining a mix of domestic talent with players who've caught the eye overseas. Representing the MLS is centre-half pairing of Aaron Long at New York Red Bulls and Walker Zimmerman of Nashville, the latter landing himself in the MLS Team of the Season for 2022. Colombian-born Jesus Ferreira also impressed with 23 goal contributions last campaign. Premier League side Leeds United have recently adopted both Brendan Aronson and Tyler Adams, who in the summer have both started very well. Chelsea's Christian Pulisic might have struggled for game time this year, but his performances for his country will be a big factor. Couple of these players with stars across other European leagues, and the US men's national team are a force to be reckoned with. The future is certainly bright for the Stars and Stripes. Back to you, Owen.
Cheers, Josh. Yeah, it'll be interesting how the US go on, not least because they're obviously co-hosting the next one. Now, Alfie, they've kind of become a bit of a mini Leeds in the sense of they've got Tyler Adams and Aronson, as Josh mentioned there, and they'll be familiar to local viewers. How key of a role do you think those two could play for them?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, they've both started really well in the Premier League. I'm a big fan of both of them. It'll be interesting to see how Berhalter lines up with Adams, especially because obviously you've got Weston McKennie there representing from Juventus, both centre defensive mids by trade. So it'll be interesting to see if he starts with both of them and whether he wants to play them both as box-to-box players, sort of going back and forth between the pitch, or he has one sitting deep, who I can imagine will be McKennie. I see him more as a physical threat, a bit better in the air and just throwing his muscle about.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how McKennie get on. Do you see them, just quickly from your quick prediction on whether they'll pick up a couple of points, or how do you see the campaign going?
Yeah, I can see them getting a couple of wins in the group stage, and I can definitely see them advancing. Yeah,
no, good stuff, Alfie. Now, on to the one I imagine you've all been waiting for. There's been so much talk surrounding them, as there always is before a World Cup. Is the manager good enough? Is he not? Josh, take us through everything around England.
So, England manager Gareth Southgate is spearheading a mission of redemption as the World Cup approaches, following what's been a tough Nations League appearance. Until then, it had been a positive qualifying period for the squad, winning 8 out of the 10 qualifying games and sealing their entry to the tournament with a dominant 10-0 win over San Marino. Captain Harry Kane impressing with 12 goals in just 8 appearances. There's no denying England's match-winning pedigree on the international stage. Their overall finish of 4th in the 2018 World Cup, combined with an exceptional performance in last year's Euros, solidifies their position as a potential challenger for the upcoming tournament. Southgate's willingness to incorporate young blood into his squad means Jude Bellingham is a name to consider for England's starting 11. The wonder kid has bags of potential, and as a midfielder will pair nicely with Declan Rice, both providing high tenacity work at the centre of the park. Back to you, Owen. Cheers,
Josh. Yeah, like you mentioned, there's some really eye-watering talent there for the likes of Bellingham, Rice, even forward players, the likes of Ford and Grealish. Sterling's been struggling a bit, not been having the best of time recently, but enough about the British economy. Alfie, what do you think about the Chelsea forwards prospects?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, all the eyes are really on Gareth Southgate at the moment. I mean, the pressure is just continuously mounting. I mean, the fans really do have a big expectation about us, getting to the semi-finals and then to a final in the Euros, falling short both times. If it's a bad tournament, we could really see the back end of Southgate this year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Obviously, there's been so much positivity surrounding Southgate before this tournament. It'll be interesting where they get. How do you see them getting on, Alfie?
Yeah, well, I mean, the expectations obviously going to be high, and I mean, with the quality we've got on the pitch, I mean, we've got an abundance of world-class talent across all areas. So, I mean, anything but the semi-finals at least, I think, will be a disappointment. Yeah,
no, it will be. And look, for England fans, the match I imagine they're simultaneously looking forward to the most and dreading the most is arguably something that's become a bit of a grudge match. Wales obviously surprised a few last time in the 2016 Euros, but how will they get on in the World Cup, Josh? Give us a bit of the lowdown of them.
Well, due to events off the pitch, Wales had to wait longer than most other countries to book their place in Qatar, defeating Ukraine 1-0 on the 5th of July. This will only be Wales' second trip to the World Cup, having last qualified in 1958. The Dragons have done significantly well in recent years, including reaching the Euro 2016 semi-finals, and manager Rob Page's flexible 4-4-2 system with a settled back four has proven to be a key feature in Wales' recent success. Nico Williams has been introduced into the starting 11 with Ben Davies shuffling into central defence alongside either Ethan Ampadu or Joe Rodon. Aaron Ramsey will start if he can stay fit, and fellow veteran Joe Allen remains an ever-present in central midfield. Page may opt to use Ampadu as a midfield partner should he want a more solid defensive unit also. Of course, Gareth Bale is a hero for the Welsh national side and has inspired his country on numerous occasions in recent years, saving some of his best performances for when he dons a Wales shirt. Back to you, Owis.
Yeah, I think it's probably fair to say, Alfie, would you agree that Wales are going to be England's closest competitors of this group and favourites to second place with the attacking talent they do have in particular?
I mean, you definitely can't write them out. I think between them and the USA, I think it's definitely going to be a grudge match between them two for see who can boot their place. But Wales, again, we've seen on the international stage before, like in Euro 2016, they can really turn it on. I mean, Gareth Bale, that man up there, he's going to be the man to really try and get them through a group stage. I mean, no matter how old he is, he's just got bags of talent, and he can really turn it on.
Yeah, without a doubt. And do you see, if you do see them getting out of the group, how far do you think they can go with the crop that they have?
I mean, I don't think the quality is definitely as strong as other teams. I mean, you've got an aging midfield with Joe Allen and Aaron Ramsey. I am a big fan of Nico Williams and Brennan Johnson, the Nottingham Forest pair. But if they do manage to get out, I can definitely see them potentially pushing quarterfinals.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a huge result for them, given the size of the nation, given how much of an underdog they are. Another team are probably big underdogs, both in this group and the tournament as a whole, our Asian side, Iran. But that being said, they didn't fare too badly last time round. Josh, what can you tell us about the Iranians?
Yeah, so Iran head into this World Cup, having also qualified for the two previous tournaments. Under manager Carlos Queiroz' guidance, the Cheetahs have turned into one of Asia's strongest sides, although they are yet to make it out of a group stage at a World Cup. In qualifying, Iran topped the group, losing only once to South Korea, and a recent 1-0 friendly win over Uruguay sends a real message that they can compete with the bigger sides. Their ability to quickly switch between a 4-4-3 and a 4-1-4-1 formation in and out of possession also gives them good defensive stability. Many fans' hopes rest on star striker Sardar Amoun, who has scored 41 goals for his country. However, the Leverkusen man's selection is in doubt following his announcement of supporting women's rights in his home nation. Either way, Porto star Mehdi Taremi is another well-known name, hotly tipped to lead the line for Iran. Captain and defender Ehsan Hajsafi brings tournament experience to the side, having played at both the previous World Cup. His leadership is crucial to Iran's chances of a successful tournament. That's all from me. Back to you guys.
Cheers, Josh. Yeah, you sort of briefly mentioned there, but what's going on with them off the pitch could have an impact, I guess, on their prospects. Alfie, I know you obviously back in one of US or Wales to go through along with England. What's the reason for you not feeling so confident about Iran?
I think the main problem with that Iran team is definitely potentially chance creation. I mean, we don't know much about their midfield, to be quite honest. I mean, there's Ali Reza Jahanbakhsh, who represented a bit of his talent in the Premier League a few years ago with Brighton, but barring that, there's not too much that I know that can really drag them through, and especially with the striking talent of Amoun and Mehdi Taremi, if the goals are there but the chances aren't, then how are they going to get themselves through?
Yeah, 100%. I can't agree more with everything you said there. And look, this will be one of the groups that viewers at home will be watching with keen interest. So I hope this preview has been useful for you all, and stay tuned for the next one. But from us, it's thank you and goodbye.